Hello, we're home. We had a good day, a good morning, and I got a lot of good buys, and I'm going to show you some of them a little bit. But right now, though, we will have a little scripture, which is, I exhort, therefore, but first of all, supplications, prayer, intercession, and giving of thanks be made for all men. 1 Timothy 2:1. We pray for one another and we give thanks all the time for the goodness of God. And we've had a good time today, and I thank God for it because we feel good. We came home, took a nap, had a nice lunch, and I'm going to show you what I got here. Now, do you all remember these things? Now, this was in a gift box, and it had, it's called British Rose. And this is hand cream, like this, and it had this spray that you can spray on your pillow and in your bed at night when you go to bed to just smell good and make your bed smell good, and it does smell good. Now this is one of those things, it's called a diffuser, and these little stems, I remember they were in vogue a few years ago, and I had some, and you know they work pretty good. So they in the gift box that I got for $3, all of this at my brother Denny's Baptist church yard sale, and you know I did a little video with him, and it went crazy, and I had to delete it because it sounded like, I mean, terrible. So I just deleted it, but that's life. So this is a diffuser, and you take these little sticks and you put them down in, and the stuff comes with it. You pour it down in this little bottle, and you put these here, and it says once a week, turn them around, upside down, and your house, I'm putting this in the cat room. Sometimes you get a little bad odor in there. And I'm going to spray this stuff on our pillows tonight when we go to bed. And yummy, yummy. It smells good. So I'm going to put this in the cat room. Well, I'll put it right here for now. So, and here, we stopped at another yard sale, and they had some Amazon stuff. And this is cute. This is like a headband, and it's like got a little white bow, and you just put it on like this. Well, like that, fluff your hair up, maybe a white scarf. And there was two of them, and they got pearls, really pretty. See that? That's got pearls on both sides, and this has got pearls, and it's like a little bow. I'm just at home taking it easy. So what else did I get? Oh yes, I wanted to show you, I got a couple of little blouses at another yard sale, and they're cute. And whether I'll wear them or not, I don't know. But they look like this. And they got puffy sleeves and a low neck. And let me see. Put a red flower in my hair, and I'm in business. And this would camouflage my flab. When you get my age, you have flabby arms. And that's a red one. Now, you know I have not wore any color much but black, because everything goes with black. But now here's another one, and it is black. And it's cute. This woman had some cute clothes, you know, $1 a piece. Heaven only knows what they cost at the store. But this was 50 cents. You can see 50 cents right there. They were 50 cents each. And it's got those same kind of arms on it. And I'm going like this. It'll be cute. So I've got two new blouses. And I tell you what, out there at that church, I got a really nice queen size blanket for $4. Brand new, that my sister-in-law bought it and didn't like it. Besides, she got her a king size bed, and the queen size don't work. But I've got a queen size in the basement, and that's going to work good. Now, what else was I going to tell y'all? No. I just enjoy. Big Tom is over here in this, he's over here in this chair, asleep, staying with me. I'm out in the studio. Oh, this bouquet here, I got it for $2. And it is so pretty. I love artificial flowers. You don't have to water them. You don't have to do anything like that. So did I tell y'all that I told James that if he did not clean his breezeway up over here and get some stuff out of it, that I was going to do it. And if I do it without him, lots of stuff is going to disappear. So you know what he did? He was really nice about it. His best man, Martine, who does such good work. Well, Martine, this girl, Jennifer, gave us some sunflower starts. I mean, they were about 8 inches tall. She'd already planted the seeds, and so we put them out in the front yard here at James's house, and Martine did that. But he sent Martine, and he said, have Martine do whatever you want done. He gave me a free, I did it. I did it. I'm a happy old woman. That's a fact, Jack. So I had some, he had brought in some cute tables and stuff. Well, we leave them in the basement beside the beds. Martine arranged the new beds down there for me. Now all I have to do is put sheets on, sheets. Now we can sleep quite a few people. You know, I'm not sleeping in that queen bed anymore, but now I got another queen bed. He can sleep in one, I'll sleep in the other. Plus we got that extra mattress, but he hasn't bought in the thing to put that on yet. But that'll work out. That'll work out good. So Martine just carried stuff up and down those stairs. I tell you, he was a real help. And I got that breezeway cleaned up because, see, these kittens of ours, and I call them the girls, they're sisters, they have decided they want to sleep in the breezeway. So I had to make room, get them tables out of there for their kitty litter box and where I feed them and leave them water and nice little beds to sleep in. And you know what? They went to bed on their own last night. They go to the door of the breezeway and wait for me to open the door. Or if they hear me open the door, they come running to get in there and eat whatever. And it's such a blessing. And I've been getting a lot better sleep since my little old girl she wants to sleep with me and she wants to lay right on me. And then when I turn over, and I turn over every couple of hours, it's aggravation. She gets on the cover, you can't pull the cover. And she's decided she don't want to sleep with me anymore. She'll sleep out there with her sister. I think God did it but today when I took a nap, James and I came home and took a nap. She was there with me. But it don't bother you enough for 30 minutes. You can stand it. You're not turning over every couple of hours. So we found a lot of stuff and we enjoyed it, and God is good all the time. And here I sit talking to y'all. And so this morning I was taking some short videos and I ran into this one place that had those high geraniums, which I tried to say high geraniums and my phone would not do it. So I just explained it as he had bought them for his wife on Mother's Day. And they are beautiful. I tell you what, gorgeous. So I took pictures of that. And then I met this other girl that had a really nice yard sale. I meet so many interesting people when we go to yard sales. But there was another young man with this one that had those beautiful flowers, the high geraniums. I can say it, can't spell it. And so I said, you know, I'm on YouTube, and that's why I want to take a little video of this. He says, you're on YouTube? I said, yes. And I said, you can Google me. I'm Grandma Lois. And both of them grabbed their phones out of wherever they carry them. And they was going, you know how these kids can do, because, you know, they were in their 20s or something. So they did it. And so he said, he looked at it and he said, you're 91? I said, yes, I am. And I went, you know how I do. I said, yes, I'm 91, and that's number 3 over there. Now, number 3, he's the one that named himself. I did not name him that. But when he said he was number 3, I just started calling the husbands number 1, number 2, number 3. That way you know who they are. Number 1 is Buddy. Number 2 was Floyd. Now, I was married to Buddy for 44 years and to Floyd for 11 years. And he got Alzheimer's after about 8 years. But he continued to live for 3 more years. And then he passed away. And I married number 3 15 years ago when I was 76. And I had met him before we ever started dating. We knew each other. And I changed churches, and there he was. And his wife was very ill, and she didn't come to church. And of course, Floyd was in a nursing home. But I met him and knew him a good long while before we ever started dating. And we dated for 1.5 years before he proposed. But I tell you what, God sent me a man that will take care of me. It's amazing, because see, my other 2 husbands, I'm an independent woman. And I always had to, it's good I was, because I could take care of business and do whatever needed to be done. Buddy never wrote a check. Floyd never wrote a check. So but I did tell Floyd. And he was very thrifty, and he was stingy. He wanted to just keep his money and leave it for his kids. And I told him I didn't care, but he was going to buy groceries, or I wasn't going to cook. Independent woman. Well, he bought all the groceries, and he paid a lot, but he didn't want to, because he knew I was taking care of myself. And he said, well, I move in with you, and you get your rent money. You get all that rent money. He said, I don't need to pay you nothing for staying here. I said, you're going to pay half of everything, of the bills and everything, or you can't stay here. So he took care of it. But I don't know, he was a different fella. But he was good company, and I bought a motorhome. We had motorhomes, me and Buddy, for years. So I traded my motorhome in. I had a motorhome when Buddy passed away. And I've traded it in for a really nice 24-foot motorhome that I could drive, that had a good generator. It had everything. And so we took that to Florida for several years, Floyd and I did. And my sister and her husband would go with us, and we had bicycles. I rode bicycles. We went for several years to Florida every winter, and we would park in a campground that was right on a river that was just beautiful. And we would walk. We'd do our exercise walking, and then we'd ride bicycles. But one day I said, and I was in my 60s, I said, you know, I am tired of riding bicycles. So I just put my bicycle out front, put a price tag on it, and sold it. And I said, all I'm doing from now on is walking. And that's what I did from then on. Excuse me. Did y'all go get you something to drink? You know how I am. 7 creams. Perfect. Got this earlier, and I just warm it up, because sometimes I only drink half of it, and I'll drink the rest of it during the day. And that's what I'm doing today. So I'm going to close it down, but I almost didn't do one today. I said, but no, I know what I can do. I can show them my good deals, and that's not nearly all of them. James really got some good stuff that he can use. And, you know, you can really get some good deals if you have yard sales and thrift stores in your area. If you're thrifty, and I'm thrifty, and that Mrs. Peach, Thrifty Living, she hits whatever is thrifty. She can tell you how to do it, I'll tell you. And I do want to thank that sweet girl. She is a girl to me. Kentucky Life with Debbie. She shouted me out on her last, I think it was 40 or 41 thing about Lois Baird-Rice. Becky, you overdid it, honey. But thank you. And now Granny Pat's talking to her and watching her. So we're still shouting her out, because, and her subscribers are raising all the time. And that just tickles Grandma. It tickles me so much to see her coming along. And she's really interesting to listen to. I like to listen to her. When she commented to me back a couple of months ago. She said, I watch you, and I think I have a lot to say, I think. And she's 73 years old. She was a school teacher, and she adopted a 17-year-old, well, the girl's 17 years old now and getting ready to go to college, and which made her life so interesting to have a girl. And she hasn't given her name. She just calls her my girl, and that's okay. And you know what else she does? She don't let her husband know that she's doing YouTube. She just keeps that to herself, and that's her business. That's life. You do whatever makes you comfortable. And she's got her reasons, I'm sure, so that's okay with me if she wants to just do it like that. And she's learning how to do shorts and different little things. And so I'm proud of her. Let's see. And Chit Chat Granny Pat is, I saw she was chat. Well, I tell you what, YouTube shut Kentucky Life with Debbie down for some reason. She never did find out what it was. And so she said she researched, and YouTube said, do you want to appeal? And she said, I said, yes, I want to appeal because I haven't said anything out of the way or anything. And it came right back on. So she's back on YouTube, and she tells funny stories at the end. And last night she told a funny story about a widowed man and a widowed woman. And at the end of it, I let her tell it to James. I played it for him. He just got him. He just hawed at it. So that's fun, Debbie, that you're doing that. She's got her own style. She's developing her own style. Everybody's different. And I'm different. And Grandma Chit Chat with Granny Pat's different. Mrs. Peach is different. And now we got Debbie. And there are some other good ones like that Insights. Let's see. Senior Insights is a good one. I watch her too sometimes. And she went viral one time and got all these subscribers, and she still got a lot of them. I haven't ever went viral, except I did a short one time that did, and it's still on, and it's about games with Grandpa, and it's a short, and it's my son-in-law and my great-grandbaby boy chasing each other around the house, and it is so cute, and it's got thousands of views. And on my TikTok, I've got thousands of views. But when I told them two boys this morning, them young men with the beautiful flowers, they both said, we subscribed. And now it's getting close to 71,000 again. And we do watch our numbers, Debbie. Yes, we do. I'm watching yours, too. And you know Jared King, TV. Back when I had just maybe 300, 400, he saw something I did, and he liked it. He said, I just felt the vibe. He said, so he shouted me out on his program and told people about me, and I got a lot of subscribers. Thank you, Jared, because they love Jared. He's Appalachia. He tells stories of Appalachia, and me and James still watch him. And we was watching him. We never dreamed he would notice me, nobody, on YouTube with 300 some subscribers, and now guess what? I think he's got 75,000 subscribers. At that time, when I started, Jared had like 15,000 subscribers. That's been quite a long time ago, a few months probably, because I had only been on 3 or 4 months or something when he shouted me out. And then Cole Cantino, the 19-year-old, he shouted me out, put me on TikTok, and the Lord just blessed, because Jared is a devoted Christian, him and his wife, and so is Cole Cantino, and he's 19 now, and he's a whiz at technical stuff. And Andy, 967 Andy, I shout him out all the time, and I've been putting Debbie on X and on my Facebook. You can share somebody like that on your Facebook. Underneath your thing, it says share, and you can share it to whoever you want to and run it. So I share Debbie, and I share others. And 967 Andy, he's got almost, I think he's got 5,000 some now. So he's doing good. He fishes, and he's been doing fishing where he just puts his camera up and just lets it run. And he stood up at our wedding. He was our best man at our wedding 15 years ago, and he's techie, and he has helped me many times. And it's always good to have somebody that knows something about that stuff. And so I told Debbie she needs to find her somebody that can, maybe if she's got a question. Of course, you can Google a lot of that. And I have Googled a lot of stuff, and I have learned a lot just by researching. So anyhow, those two young men, they just signed me up. Now I don't know what it's running. I haven't checked it lately. But I tell you what, you can't help but check it. Let me see what it says now. I got my phone right here. So all I have to do is go to YouTube. It's really easy. People look at me and they say, "Man, you know how to do that, don't you?" I say, "Yes, I do." Let me see. View channel. Hit it. 70,090. I am only 10 from having 71,000. That's a miracle of God. That a 91-year-old woman, that people would listen to her and subscribe. And you all know it. I know it. James knows it. But he's proud of me. And I'm thankful to the good Lord. And thank you, Jesus. And I praise him all the time. When I was out at that church yard sale this morning, let me tell you what happened. So James and I said, he said, "Honey, would you like to go to the Buckboard restaurant out at Borden for breakfast?" I said, "Oh, yes, they have the best breakfast." So we went on out to Borden, Indiana, where all this was going on. And I noticed the parking lot was full at the restaurant, but he dropped me off and I walked on in, and every table was taken. There was one couple in front of me, and they took the last two seats. So when James came in, I said, "Honey, there is no room here." And there was two seats on further in. And so James said, "Are these seats taken?" They said, "Yes, we're waiting for somebody. They'll be here in a little bit." So we left, and I was hungry as a horse. You ever get hungry as a horse? I was hungry, because no breakfast, and here it was 9:30. We usually have breakfast around 8 o'clock. So yesterday, I cooked beef liver that Kim, my daughter, had given me. She had bought some beef for hamburger and stuff, and they don't want the liver. She gave it to me. So I got it out last night and fried it for supper. And it was so good. And James just loved it, and I just loved it. And don't you know, we had a little piece left over. And I said, "That is too good to throw away." You know how we are, us old people. So I put it in a little plastic bag, and I said, "You know, this is enough. I can have it for breakfast in the morning." I eat stuff like that. I'll eat, like if I got chicken wings left when I've cooked them, I've been deep frying them, and they're so good. So anyway, I just put a little piece, and I put it in my dinner bag, which we carry in the van wherever we go, back and forth. I have different things in it. It's like a pocketbook, but it's bigger. You can put a bunch of food. You can put anything you need to carry. And so we take the dinner bag everywhere. So we left that place, and I told James, and about that time there was another yard sale. There was a lot of them out that way. So when he pulled over, I said, "Honey," and I got out of the car, and I said, "I'll need to get in that dinner bag." I said, "I got a piece of liver in that dinner bag, and I need some breakfast." So I got that out, and I tell you, it was good this morning. It was cold. You know, you can't heat it up or anything. And that just hit the spot. Protein. I'm a protein person. Now, there's some people that can live on sweets, but I gotta have protein or I can't make it. And also, if I don't eat fairly regular, I get irritable, and I know what it is. You just have to take care of your body. It's low blood sugar or something. So I ate that piece of liver, and I felt so much better. So we went on to a couple of yard sales till we was going on down to the Baptist church yard sale where my brother Denny and his church was having it. And so we got there and I saw somebody eating a donut. I said to James, food. I don't usually eat sweets, but I'd had my protein. So now it was time for dessert, right? They said, come on over and take your pick. If you buy something, we don't charge you. I said, I guarantee you that James will buy some. Can I have a donut for me and him? He said, here you are. Now talk about delicious. When you really get hungry, which I really was, that donut is one of the best donuts I ever ate in my life. That's the way it is when you get hungry. So I ate that donut and gave James his, which had chocolate on top of it. Chocolate he just loves. And I still had some of my coffee from McDonald's. So I just sat there until I hit the, looking at all of the stuff to shop. Because they have a big tent. Well, they have a place at church built that they can have their outdoor dinners and stuff. Because it don't have an auditorium. So when they have their dinners and different things, they can have it just right outside in the nice weather. And I think they do that every so often. It's way out in the country. Kiddos, to me, is in the boondocks. And they was having a strawberry festival. Well, we looked as we went past that and it said, entry here, $5 for parking. And at the other side it said, exit only, and they had police. James says, forget that. Because I tell you what, it was getting hot by the time we saw when we was coming back from the yard sale at the church. And I didn't want to get out there and walk around that sun. I don't like sun. I just burn if I got to have an umbrella. And then, you know, in the real hot summer, I carry umbrellas to yard sales. I'm a Southern Belle. I feel like it. I got the umbrella right in the car all the time. Or I wear a big hat. When I was young and we worked the fields, I had a hat then with a big brim on it, and I would wear long sleeve shirts of Daddy's because I didn't have no long sleeve shirts. And I would wear his overalls on my legs, and I kept my arms and my face protected because I couldn't take the sun. I don't agree with some people. What's so funny is James freezes and I stay warm, too warm. And when it's getting warm, I say, you think it's too hot in here? He'll say, it's just right. This is just right. And also, he'll put the shades up and I put them back down because I like things kind of cozy and not a lot of light. So we up and down the shades all the time. And in the kitchen where I do dishes, when we moved here a couple of years ago, the sun comes in that window. And he has mini blinds up that cheap. He bought the cheap mini blinds. So you know what I did? I went to Home Depot. I said, do you all make a heavy mini blind that will stop the sun? They said, yes, but we have them, but you have to order them. Honey, I ordered me 2 for the kitchen windows, 2 kitchen windows in there. And then I couldn't, they're the kind, you know, that you have to reach up and pull them down. Didn't have no strings to them. I said, can I order some that have strings to them? Because I can't reach them. They said, yes, you can. So I did that too. I got the kind I could handle. The old-timey kind. They still make them, but you have to order them. So now I can just, well, then the strings, guess what? I'm short, and I couldn't reach the strings. So what did I do? I got ribbon. I used to do bows, and I still have some ribbon left over, so I took me a piece of ribbon, 2 pieces, and put on them strings and extended them. That works. And then we have a good fan in the bedroom. And I love the fans. He's got one here in the studio. But at night, instead of turning the air conditioner on, if you run a fan on medium, it just makes it nice. But I couldn't reach them. So I had to get extension, and I put ribbons. And you know what? Those cats learned how to turn the fan on and off, plus the light. It's got a light in it. And sometimes they would jump and get that string and turn on the fans or turn it this way and the lights, but they're not sleeping with us anymore, so we don't have that problem. You just have to you just have to work things out as you go along. Oh my goodness, 30 minutes. Well, I've had a fun time. It's been a good day. Thank the Lord for all his blessings. And you all walk that walk where Jesus would be pleased with you. And I'm reading a book I can't hardly lay down. So I'm going to go read a while. And James is in the living room watching his TV. And I got one in here. But he's watching his TV, and Lord only knows what he's watching. He loves Westerns. And what I do sometimes, I've got my iPad. And then I take my hearing aids off, and I don't have them on right now. And you can put it in your ear, and you plug that into your iPad, and I listen to Granny Pat or Debbie, Debbie, Life with Debbie, Kentucky Life with Debbie. Debbie, I don't know why I have a problem with that. But sometimes I do. Not with Granny Pat, though. She chit-chat, Granny Pat, and Jared King TV, 967 Andy. Now, one thing Debbie did, she shouted out some people that she likes, and I like them too. You know what it's called? Wholesome YouTube. We are wholesome YouTube. We love people. We want y'all to be entertained and encouraged and have a good life and to be well. And we pray for you. Me and Debbie and Grandma the other day, she shared the goodness of God on how she fell a year or so ago, right straight back, and you ought to look at that. I mean, she had a pump knot on the back of her head, big as her fist, and she could have been killed, but God was faithful, and he was with her, and she's as right as rain. She got well. Had it all checked out. They insisted. She was doing a talk down Cumberland Gap, and she's done 2 or 3 of them. She goes every other years she's been, and she's got other videos. Check that out. You'll like them. I like them. She's a hoot sometimes, you know. But then I am too, and so is Debbie. We're a hoot sometimes. I think that's a compliment. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Love you.